God, work. Oh God, I'm so... Come on.
It's okay.
I know it's probably fine. Okay.
It is okay.
So far, so okay. Whether or not that will change is yet to be seen. We're gonna have to see. Hello, people. Welcome for joining again. Whenever you get here. Welcome to take 2, if that's where we're at. Is this the one that's currently live? Started 20 seconds ago. It's seeming good so far. Did I fix it?
What?
Did I fix it? Or was it just smooth at the start? I'm a little scared.
That girl, it's gonna be okay.
Listen, when things go too well, that's how I know the universe is setting me up.
But it's okay. If it falls apart, if it stays the same, if it crashes, it's fine. We're gonna have a party, and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the Side-ology livestream, where you can find TechReal's real paranoia. It happens between every cut on the podcast. Before, after, and during every podcast episode. But I think we did it. It's so funny too, because like the suggested bitrate for a stream is like says like 3,000 to 6,000. I have it on 10,000. For some reason, that's what works. Because I did that on OBS and it works, and I did that on Streamlabs to match just now, and it seems to be working. Unless it's suddenly gonna tank. And, like, it was working fine before and then it tanked, but, like, so far, so good.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna pull up the chat so I can see it, too.
Okay, well, here we are. Oh, my God. Well, hello again.
Hi.
Oh, my God. Hopefully now you can see us and hear us. Whoa. Hopefully my hair can chill the heck out. My God.
What's up, everybody? Let's do it.
Phoenix says, how have you both been? Stressed. Stressed because of this. Other than that, doing alright. More or less. For the live chat, just had a little bump. Here we go. Okay, that's good. Oh my God, I put that together good too. Oh my God, yeah. Everything's working now, and I'm like gonna cry. It's working.
Okay, now I have the chat.
I'm so pleased. Okay.
I have the chat. Hello. Hey. Oh my God. Hazelnuts. I love that username.
Hazelnuts. That's a good name.
I know, I'm allergic to you.
I don't like hazelnuts. Not the person, the actual food. Because to me, it tastes like poison.
Well, I think it tastes like peanuts.
So. See, you're wrong.
Well, that's what my brain coded it as. I don't...
Yeah, I once got I once was unsure if I liked hazelnuts or not. Because I had like a knockoff Nutella and it tasted bad to me, but I was like, maybe it's just knockoff Nutella. And that's why it tastes bad. And then a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, gave me this pack of like snack foods from like a different country, and like it was a lot of hazelnut stuff. And then when I got it and I tasted it, every single thing made my poor little TechReal body want to die. So,
that's unfortunate.
Goodness. So that's where we're at. Oh my God. But yeah, how are y'all? How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the stream. Sorry for the quick fumble, but we're here. And we're working, hopefully.
Oh! Is this Lily? Wait, do I know this person?
They did say Lily, yeah.
Oh my God, Lily, hi! I had no idea. Lily is a friend of mine in my college.
Oh, crap.
They did my hair, actually. Well, they were
so
part
cool.
of who did my hair.
Oh
She
was
part of who did my hair. We love Lily. Ow! Well, welcome to the chat. Hey, bro. Well, what are we doing today, TechReal?
Right now I'm panicking because on my end things are starting to get laggy a slight bit again. And I'm getting nervous.
I'm gonna say that you shouldn't worry about it unless you see the chat worrying about it. Okay? If the chat starts to say, "Hey, bro, I can't see or hear anything,"
yeah.
then
I mean, so far it still seems smooth, but I'm seeing things at a slight laggy delay.
It's okay.
I like how
That
like
might
my
be
way
where-
of checking this is like moving my fingers like this. I'm like, how are that looking? Is that smooth?
But that's the thing. That could be the reception of like you getting the stream to you and not to everyone else. I would start freaking out if the chat starts to say that.
Okay.
Because my end, everything's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just worry because it feels like it's like setting up. It's like the calm before the storm.
It's gonna be okay. So chat, you better let us know if something seems off, okay?
Yeah. Oh god.
Ooh, it is early in the morning and I am still waking up. So
Honestly, we are like. Funnily enough, as early as the podcast comes out, we never record it early. We rarely record it early. We usually
we were
record it
always
like late at
recording
night, honestly.
very late. Very late. Yeah, like we would latest we would go is like your 10 o'clock probably, and the earliest was probably like 1
Yeah, that sounds
o'clock.
about right.
Like we really didn't. So this morning I'm like, I want to get coffee, but I'm gonna get coffee later, so I'm not gonna do that.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna refrain myself. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it. It's fine. So just so y'all know, I know y'all who are watching this probably listen to the podcast quite frequently, but those that don't, we are here to answer any other questions about Side-ology. This is kind of the final celebration of the podcast.
Yeah,
We have,
before a break. We're not. The podcast is definitely not over by any means.
but it's not a break that's like got a set amount of time.
Oh yeah,
We're
no, it's
basically
like a
waiting-
change of format.
Yeah, we're waiting for more input to then talk about. So we are, we're going to be kind of going away for a while. But this is kind of to talk about other Sandersides questions you have, to just hang out and celebrate. We don't have to talk about Sandersides, but that is an option.
You can ask us any questions you wanna, but yeah.
Yep. And we're going to be here till noon Central and 1 Eastern.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Phoenix asks, opinions on mythology. I don't know enough about mythology. Is that like, when I hear mythology, I think like Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay. I know nothing.
I can't get into it.
See, yeah,
I've
me
tried.
neither. I've tried
Personally-
here and there. I just don't have it in me. For some reason, it just doesn't click.
Yeah, I hate it because like it's such a thing that swept the nation, really.
Yeah, with like Percy Jackson
And like,
and stuff.
I mean, people. I know in the theater community, everybody loves Hadestown. I think it's okay. The song "Wait for Me" is dope as fuck. I love that. But everything else, I'm like, yeah. But I mean, they're interesting stories. I like hearing them, but like I've never really been a fantasy person. So any of the stories that have like really deep fantasy, which includes Greek.
See, I don't even know why I don't get into it. I think I don't know what it is specifically. I've tried, even just with what was it? Thomas's new series. What's it called?
Oh, my roommate Hades.
My
is
roommate Hades. Yeah, I tried to get into that, but for some reason I was like, I can't get into the Greek mythology vibe. It's just not hitting me where I live, and I don't know. And it's not even it's like a mythology thing specifically, because like, I know, God knows I watch enough show. Like, I watched 15 seasons of Supernatural, which is like the same equivalent, but of just like, the alternate, like just like religion. But like,
I would argue that that's different.
It is different, but it's also not different. Because there's still a lot of like this, like a lot of like figureheads and a lot of like the same like gods and stuff. Like not same gods, but like the same type of thing. There's a lot of like gods representation, and then you're like, oh, that's that one. You're like, whoa, that's interesting. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. For some reason, like when it comes to Greek mythology, I've never fully got into it. I don't know.
I know, like Thomas really loves Percy Jackson, and he always has. So like, I think he, I'm glad he's getting to live out that part of his interest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My goodness. Question one in the bag. Did it.
Listen, in terms of the coffee, I'm trying not to be addicted to coffee, but I also am failing. So, being back at college has been insanely quick. There's a lot going on all the time, and I'm always like, coffee? Have coffee?
Yeah, see, I've never done coffee. I've done coffee very minimally in like a mixed drink type of thing. Like the only coffee I've ever really like consumed by will on a regular basis. I don't know if they still have it. That is like sort of like chocolate chip, sort of like McDonald's Frappuccino, like frozen Frappuccino thing.
Oh, Frappuccinos are good, yeah.
I had that for a while because it was like very low amount of coffee, and then even then I would bring it home and I would like throw some like Hershey's syrup in it because I was like, it's still too coffee-y. But like, I remember once we were having like construction done for our bathroom, and I just remember they woke me up and I was like, fuck. I was like, I can't deal with all this. I'm stressed and everything's loud, and I was like, I ran out and got a McDonald's Frappuccino, and I was like, I'm awake now. I feel good. I need this.
Okay. Well, you could do that. I was gonna say, Tech Real, you could get a chocolate shake and not get the coffee in there.
No, I know that. I think at the time I was a tired person. I mean, I'm always a tired person, but I was especially a tired person, and I was like, you know what? This is like a coffee-ish thing I kind of like that actually does wake me up a bit. So like, yay. But even then, it was still quite bitter. Supernatural is playing with religious Christian myth than Greek myth, which is different. Yeah, exactly.
That's weird.
But yeah, what's your favorite Thomas Sanders media outside of Sandersides, i.e. Cartoon Therapy? I can't see that because the heart, the sleep shorts. For me, Cartoon Therapy. Clear. Like I think, which is sad, only because that is one of the least produced pieces of Thomas media. I think. Like I feel like everything else comes out a lot more than Cartoon Therapy comes out very rarely, which is fine. But like it's so good, and I need it, and I love like cartoons and mental health are two of my biggest fascinations, and it's like I need more. Like it's so good. I love the latest episode, the Spider-Verse episode. Oh my god, Steven Universe one will always be the best. That's the best one.
I love the Avatar one personally.
The Avatar one is good.
Just because I've seen Avatar and all the references, there's so many references, it's great.
I still have yet to see Avatar. I need to. I've been meaning to, and I know I will.
It's gonna happen.
It is.
It's gonna happen.
But even not knowing Avatar, I love that episode.
To continue engagement in the chat, also, let us know what your favorite Thomas Sanders piece of media is, as well as what your favorite mythology thing is, because, we could be educated, because I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I keep looking at my camera on my computer, which is up. I need to look here.
I never know where to look when it comes to the podcast. Sometimes I feel like I look at the camera, most times I'm just staring at your picture on my screen, so I'm like looking far off into the distance according to the camera. Which, I mean, if you've ever been in a real conversation with me, which it's basically what I'd be doing anyways. It's how I go. Eye contact is hard. I don't know how to do it. I do, but only for very small intervals.
Your favorite episode is the Avatar one? Yep.
That's good.
I don't know what my favorite piece of Thomas media is outside of... This might be a little conceited. I might say my favorite thing he does is perform and go to the shows, like the live shows.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not... How's that conceited?
Just because not many people got to see them. And
I mean, just because not many people got to see it doesn't mean it can't be your favorite.
They're my favorites. Yeah. No, my favorite thing that Thomas does is act. So when I see him in performances, I'm like, oh. Guys, to go on a mini tangent, the Sweeney Todd set was so small. This thing was a fucking like, it was a very small box. So like every time the cast was in the center of the stage and I was sitting in the front row, 2 steps and I could be right where they were. Like they were so close to us all the time, and I was like, hello. Hi, Thomas. What's up, my guy? It was bizarre. So that type of shit, that's what I love with Thomas.
That's good.
So that's what I'm
seeing him act.
His videos.
See, if he ever does like The Producers again, you bet I will try my best to go see that. Because I know I still probably won't be able to because I am broke and far away. But like, if he did
He
The
loves
Producers again, I love The Producers so much.
He loves The Producers, so it's possible.
Like when I
I was
first found
honestly
out he
surprised
played
he didn't.
Leo, I was like, what? I love that for him. Oh my god. It's so good.
Yep.
I need
Yep.
more. I need more
He was
Matthew
awesome.
Broderick content in my life.
He's good.
He's so good.
Did you
He's
ever-
like he's an interesting actor. He really like is either like the best you've ever seen or he is a cardboard cutout. And I mean that in a loving way, but like because you either get
Did
like
you-
Ferris Bueller or you get like I can't even think of another like or you get like A Christmas Story Live. Like you know those are the two like
Yeah.
those are the two. That's the spectrum for good old Matt Broderick.
Did you ever get confirmation about whether he was in Return to Oz or not?
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, you were talking about that last night.
That Matthew Broderick.
There was a
in
voice
Return-
in there that sounded like Matthew Broderick.
Oh, I knew it wasn't him.
Oh,
No, I
all
knew it. I don't think it actually was him. I just thought it sounded a bit like him. I think it was Jack. I wasn't it Jack? It might have been Jack. I don't remember.
I have no idea. Anyway, that movie's kind of it was a trip.
That movie was.
We watched Return to Oz yesterday.
Oh, it was a trip and a half, and I kind of loved every second of it.
TikTok makes my heart soar.
His little like
As per you.
little waddle
Is
makes me
he
so
is
happy.
great. He is the most advanced technology that he can wind up his intelligence. That's
When you have to like wind up the intelligence but also the action, it's like, listen, I think it was the Scarecrow that made him. Like, come on, listen, you can't just do this. Like, why not just have one central wind up? Like, why is it piece specific? Oh.
then it doesn't get like there's no internal damage. You could like have 3 separate sections that you can focus on.
But doesn't
when you
but that would only increase the amount of problems that you could have and problems you'd have to solve because everything's wired up in separate areas as opposed to just one central button. Or
No,
maybe that
because
doesn't make sense.
If they were interconnected and it was like a movement issue, then you'd have to dig through the other stuff to get to the
Okay,
movement.
that's fair.
Whereas if they're all individualized, then it doesn't matter.
I see that. What are people saying? My favorite Cartoon Therapy episode is the Spider-Man one. That's a good one. And my favorite Vine is the Clue one. I also love my
Phoenix!
roommate's name is Fair. Phoenix? What?
Phoenix,
Oh.
I've seen Clue. Did I say that to you? I saw the
Finally
movie.
seen Clue.
I finally saw the movie.
It took
It was
forever, but
great.
you did it.
It was great, and I was really mad because I was very convinced I was right about who did it, and I was not. I got very, very close. I got very close with the first person who was revealed to be the murderer, and then the other one. There were 3 endings that I saw. The first one
I don't know how to spoil
was.
things.
I don't want to spoil things. So I'll just say the first one, I was very close, and I was like, fuck, I should have gotten that. The second one, I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? No. And then the third one, I was like, that's not fair. That's not fair. So anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, I've finally seen the movie. You asked me that on every stream, and I finally watched it.
Phoenix says, heck yeah!
It was very good. I love Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry is a treasure.
I love Tim Curry, and I loved seeing the whole flames on the side of my face. See?
That's so
beautiful.
good.
It's very
Oh my
beautiful.
goodness. Whew,
Uh,
good.
Love it, love it.
Dude.
But you like My Roommate is Hades. You don't know if it's your favorite yet. That's fair. The Wes
fair.
Anderson video.
Oh, the Wes
I-
Anderson was good.
I thought, oh my god. When Patton went one step in front of the other kiddo, I was like, I freaked out. And what was I gonna say? What's my favorite like Sanders Asides video? Probably The Gift.
favorite. Yeah, I was gonna say that's my favorite one too
That's
now.
the best one.
It's perfect. It's because, And I think I'm pretty sure we said this in the podcast episode we talked about it. What was it? I think it was like either right before or right after New Year's. We talked about the episode extensively on the podcast,
Oh, yeah.
and I think the thing I love about it is that we have all the sides at play at the same time, like all of them hanging out for like what feels like a Sandy Sides episode. Honestly, and it feels. I never knew how much I needed it until it happened, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. Seeing all the different characters and all the relationships happening at the same time, and all the different it's just so good.
I assume that's going to be the plan for the finale.
Oh, please. I want it. I need it. Oh my goodness. It's so good.
I just can't get over Virgil being like, I'm not sure. As Logan's doing the whole puzzle thing. He's like, what are these numbers? Are these numbers and letters? Virgil just,
I love Virgil so much.
I'm not sure.
He's such a sly little boy. Oh my god.
I love him. Did I mention I love Virgil?
I love Virgil.
Oh my god. I have a Virgil poster right there, and it's oh my god, I love Virgil. You watch Thomas's Clue video after watching the movies. Check out the references. No, I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. I've seen it.
His Clue video.
Wow, now that I've seen the movie, because he's very good at references. He does that really well. That and what was I gonna say? I don't know. Anyway, I don't need coffee. I'm gonna get coffee later. I don't need coffee.
I'm just gonna demonstrate for a quick second to everybody how slow I can be. I only just a second ago, for the first time, processed that lo-fi is playing.
I like having lo-fi playing because it gives life to the stream.
Yeah, it does. And the fact that I didn't notice it until now shows how good of a background it is. But
it's pretty loud on so I'm over here like...
It. I know you had mentioned doing it, but I hadn't really thought about it.
Can you guys hear it okay? Is the volume okay?
Tech real for you? Yeah, it sounds perfect to me.
Okay.
Like I said, the fact that I barely noticed it until now shows that it's not intrusive.
It's a little intrusive for me, but
I'm so sorry.
For you all.
Oh no.
I like lo-fi. I like it, so I don't care.
Lo-fi is so good.
It gives my ADHD brain something else to listen to.
Yeah, I like lo-fi. I don't listen to it too much in normal settings. Like if I'm working or if I'm reading. I know I need music when I read to some extent because I can't read in silence because my ADHD is crazy. But
me too.
But I can't listen to lo-fi, or I haven't really tried it. But I don't think lo-fi is good for me when I read. There's something about lo-fi that almost unsettles me at times. Certain ones. There's some sort of energy about it that I'm like, ugh.
I know for me, the beat can be distracting to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but it is.
I understand that. So what I listen to when I read is soft piano jazz.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's I look up those coffee shop videos that you find on YouTube, like coffee shop in the rain with some slight music in the background, and I'll just put that. I'll just have an 8-hour video of that up while I'm reading.
I'm also gonna shout out. I'm gonna shout out Alex Rainbird Music. If you guys haven't gone and checked them out, I consistently listen to their instrumental indie folk all the time. They're awesome.
I'll have to check that out.
For my study anyway. But yeah, I don't know about a Clue soundtrack on Spotify.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't even know what the music is in Clue. I couldn't tell you. It's been so long.
A lot of really intense violin.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you just saying intense violin just struck a chord in me. No pun intended. But now I need to watch Sherlock because immediately my brain started clinging to the Sherlock violin. The BBC Sherlock. I love BBC Sherlock.
Stop yawning.
It's been so long. They took it off of Netflix and I'm sad.
Everything's going off of Netflix.
Honestly.
It's annoying. I don't appreciate it.
That used to be on Netflix and I got to watch it all the time and now it's not. And there was something else. Oh, Shrek the Musical went off Netflix a while back. And it was sad because I used to watch. I would like watch it all the time. Every once in a while, I just be like, I love that musical, and knowing it was there was nice. But like, you can't. I know I saw something that like people. It was something that people said somewhere, which is like this is why we still need physical releases because sometimes things happen and like things go off of streaming services, and like
I mean, they
it's
have
nice to
just
know you
released
have
like
it. Huh?
they have like DVDs and stuff still. So they still do that, I think.
I heard Best Buy is edging out of it. I know,
No.
isn't that terrifying?
No.
I've
No,
heard
no,
that. I've heard that
no,
Best Buy is on its way out with physical media like that.
Denial
I know,
is
me
a
too,
river.
me too,
No.
me
No.
too. I listen,
No.
I can't even say that I use a lot of physical media like currently, but I like knowing it's there, and also it just provides good things to have like if you want like someone to sign something like that's cool that if you have a DVD and like can you sign this person who was in this movie? It's neat.
I just don't appreciate how you have to have all the streaming platforms to be able to watch anything you want.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Especially Marvel is a real bad case of this, especially when the Marvel shows tie so intrinsically to the movies. Because there are Marvel movies that are out right now that if you haven't seen the series, like that's on Disney Plus, you don't know what's happening. And they don't help you. Because like what was it? Just the recent movie The Marvels, like completely works in Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, and you would only know what's been going on with her thus far if you had seen the series. Because she hasn't
Yeah.
been in any other movies yet that I know of. So like and I mean I don't know if that really hinders the watch experience. I haven't watched without it, so like I don't know. But like I feel like a lot of it like because it's all crossed over now. It's all multiversal and it's all crossed over. You really need to see like Marvel's homework. I say this all. I still love Marvel, but like Marvel is becoming homework in a lot of ways because like you need to watch things or else you don't know what's going on. I still haven't seen
Yeah.
Black Panther 2. I know I need to. I had to sit through Eternals. Have y'all seen Eternals? It's not good. In my opinion. But anyways, Marvel slander
Also-
aside.
You Phoenix, you said there's always eBay. Like there is, but if they stop making DVDs, period,
Exactly.
then new movies won't go on DVD.
Yeah, and even then,
That's
eventually the other DVDs that are on eBay, since they're not in production, you're only gonna have those options for so long, unless people keep buying it and eventually reselling.
I don't like that.
No, but
I don't like. I don't like that.
let's see.
How has your 2024 been going so far,
um,
Phoenix?
pretty okay. There's a lot. Well, I say pretty okay. There's been a lot of good things that have happened this year, thus far. I recently got a Nintendo Switch for the first time ever, from an amazing friend of mine, Lucy.
We love Lucy.
Shout out to friendo Lucy.
Shout out.
And I played Mario Wonder, and I 100%ed the whole game in a week because I was that addicted to it. It is the most perfect Mario game I think I have ever played. The only thing that could have been made better about it is if it had Yoshi. Like it has Yoshi as a character. I want Yoshi in the same way that they had it in like Super Mario World. I like just having Yoshis to play around on.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been going pretty good, I'd say, more or less. How about you, Amy?
Good. It's been crazy. I've done more in the I've done more in the past month and a half than I did the entirety of last year. No, let's see. I went back to college, and I haven't been on social media as much. But oh my God, I've been doing so much. I've been, let's see. We were doing Side-ology. I've been doing homework and getting back in the swing of being inconsistent, like deadlines and stuff. I'm doing better than I did. I'm proud of myself. I'm kind of figuring out my ADHD better than I had. I'm in a show. Should I talk about the show? I probably shouldn't.
I
Until
don't know
after.
the rules.
How many people are on in the chat?
According to YouTube, 4. But also, this is going to be like on the Side-ology channel after still.
I'm gonna leave it a secret for now, just because, like, oh man, I don't want to leave it a secret, but
Probably safer that way, though.
It's probably safer to keep it a secret, just because, like, I'm still in a very small area, and if I start talking about where I am, people are gonna know.
Of course.
I don't like that thought. So, it's a really wacky show. All I'll say is it's a children's show, and it is. No.
Wrong type of children's show.
You know what? Blues.exe prepared me for this. I'll say it that way. I'm an understudy. That's the other thing. I'm an understudy, and it's just a very chaotic show. So I'm having the time of my life, but I'm also understudying the lead. So I'm like, I'm screaming and crying and throwing up at the same time. But so there's that. I haven't been in a show in a long time where I haven't had a script in my hand, and I've been in front of an audience. So this is very exciting for me. And then I'm also writing a play. And in writing a play, this is how do I describe the play? I want to be able to record it when we finish performing it. But it is also my final project for school. I'm very excited about it. I have an awesome director. I just met my stage manager yesterday, and I'm stoked. He seems like such a vibe. So I think we're my brain is frying, basically. And I also have an old friend that I'm talking to today that we haven't talked to in a long time. We found out we're in the same town, and I went, well, bruh, let me come say hi. So we're gonna go say hi, and that's happening today. And everything's happening all at once. I watched Hamlet. Yes, like really recently.
How was that?
I've never seen Hamlet. That was a ride.
I've not seen much like Shakespeare in my time.
I wouldn't recommend Hamlet first.
Fair enough.
I would always recommend like Romeo and Juliet or Much Ado About Nothing. I love Much Ado About Nothing.
I need to watch Much Ado About Nothing only because I know there's a version out there, and I think it's watchable somewhere that I can like access. That is with David Tennant and Catherine Tate from Doctor Who, and I love them both so dearly. So if I was ever gonna try to watch something classic Shakespeare like that, I need to watch the version that has David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Because I love
I think
them
you need to
both.
watch a comedy first, for sure. Either that or like a well-known tragedy.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Hamlet was just so convoluted for me. I was like, there's so many details that I have to keep up with, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
There's so many characters too, and I'm like, I don't.
Fair enough.
So. But yeah.
Hey asks, can you at all say anything about what you're expecting from these new Sandersides episodes? And then in parentheses, it's okay if you can't. I don't know what we can say that isn't like intrinsically tied to like our secret theory. Have we even mentioned what the nature of the theory is, or have we like completely like never even mentioned what the theory is even in essence?
No, I'm sure we've mentioned what it is, but we can do that again.
We can, because I don't know if we have.
Here's what I mean. Stop me, because I've said this to you before. I'm like 90% sure. Do you know what I'm about to say?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, I was just gonna say I'm 90% sure I know who the orange side is.
Oh yes, okay. Well,
okay,
we know who the orange side is.
Well, yeah, 95. I'm about like 90 to 95%. We are about 90 to 95% sure we know who the orange side is. We are about. Shut up.
Every time we talk about the theory in any fashion, I feel like you always say I, and I'm like, excuse me, I came to you with the basis of this.
I don't want to speak for you.
Well, I'd like you to speak for me for this case.
No, because like your percentages may be different than mine.
Percentage?
The 90%. 90 to 95% sure I know who the orange is.
Oh, percentage-wise, yes. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's never a dig at you. It's always me being like, well, I think I know who the orange side is.
Okay.
Based on what we have talked about.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way.
That I can see that. That makes sense.
And then
I'm just always I'm always taken aback by that because I'm like, excuse me.
No.
I came
No.
to you with the information that birthed this theory. You clown.
So personally, I'm 90 to 95% sure I know who the orange head is.
Yeah.
Personally, I keep wanting to change this one. I'm gonna say 85 or 80. 80 to 85% sure I know Virgil and Janice's past.
Okay.
I'm not as sure about that one, but I'm gonna get really mad if it's not what we think it is. I'm gonna get very sad, but I'm gonna be okay. And then, in terms of the future of the series, I have that at about like 60%. I have that lower for me.
I'd say I agree. With those percentages, more or less. So that's the nature of our secret theory. It will eventually be revealed once, the finale's out of the way and whether or not it all happens.
It's crazy that theory is 2 years old now.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
My hair was the lighter blue.
I remember
like the lighter blue with the purple when we made it.
Oh my lord.
And also, like, that's what's cool about it is you can hear that Amy talking about it with that color of hair, so you'll know that it was that version rather than me.
Plus, we already have like a pre-recorded episode of the podcast where we explain our theory, which we might need to. I know we mentioned we might need to re-record at some point, or we'll like use clips from that one. But yeah, there's one moment in that episode I always just want to explain every time we talk about it, and I'm like, I don't want to explain it because I want that to hit when that moment shows up. It's so good.
Yeah. As a reminder, we're not talking about this theory because we don't want to spoil it. We think we are so close, and we're not trying to be like, well, we're right and everyone else is wrong. No, we're just saying that we think we're so close that we might actually spoil it if we try to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't want to take away from the we don't want to possibly take away from the reveal by putting out a theory that might basically be the answer because we feel so accurate. And we don't want to screw up Thomas
It works so well with psychology that it's too close. So we may be wrong, and if we're wrong, then we'll compare and we'll talk about it. But if there's any risk that we're right, we don't want to talk about it.
Because the worst thing would be if it's always the possibility with any show you make, but with people theorizing all the time. But we don't want to push out a theory that might, in any way gain traction amongst the fandom. And then Thomas sees us and is like, oh no, that was the big twist. Crap. That's not good. Now it's not going to be. Now it's not going to hit as hard. I want him to be able to have that moment where everyone gets to go, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And
see, I'm still going to do it. If it happens, I'm going to flip out. My recording is going to be like, oh my god, we were right! Or scream. But,
on the subject of plays, are you familiar with the Torch Song trilogy? I don't know what that is.
You'd have to name the plays. I don't know.
Does the secret theory connect to the maladaptive daydreaming theory? It does not. No. I think our theory works under the assumption that everything is just happening. But, our theory just works in conjunction with what we see as opposed to, the maladaptive daydreaming piece.
Yeah, everything that's already been said, pretty much. It matches with that. But, yeah, in terms of, what we think is going to be in the finale, I've actually heard... I was in the writer's room for the finale, the first one. I can't talk about that because that was a Patreon thing, so I know some things that are going to happen. But I also know that he said how many songs are in it publicly, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was a public thing.
I don't know if I would risk it.
I think so. That was public. Wait, how did I know that information?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. No, he said it in the 2023 video.
Okay,
yeah,
I don't think I saw that then. Okay.
There's 6 songs in it. But that's but that's what I'm saying. I know some things about it, but I probably shouldn't share everything I know because it was Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
And also things have changed at this point. So he had asked us very real quick. He had asked us very nicely when we got on the Patreon not to share the information that you learn on the Patreon so that it maintains Patreon information. So
of course. Yeah, man.
That's all I can say.
All I know is I want more Padme and Janice. I just love them both so
I'm
much.
sure you're gonna get that.
Good.
I don't have a doubt.
I'm glad.
I don't have a doubt in my mind that every character's gonna show up.
Phoenix says that's just the title of the play. It's not 3 different plays. I was just called the Torch Song Trilogy.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, no, I've never heard of that. But yeah, I don't know. What were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something, or did I miss it?
I don't think so. I think I already said it.
Well, all right then. Oh, Sandra Sides.
Oh my god. How are we already 51 minutes into the stream?
I know. Streams go quick.
Yeah. Especially when you fumble right at the beginning.
I don't have any proof of this, but I'm almost sure you're right. I'm almost sure Janice. There's gotta be a Janice song in this one. It's gonna surprise me a lot if he doesn't. I'm gonna be very. I need a Janice and Virgil battle song. I need.
Damn. I want like a stupid, cheesy, cute Janice and Patton friendship song.
That won't happen.
Listen, I know, but let me dream.
Why don't you make one?
Because I'm not talented enough for that.
Fuck you, you've written songs before?
Not well. Listen,
That's wrong. That's just flat out wrong.
Debatable. Listen, I've written... over the course of like a decade, I've written 2 songs. Like, I'm not
and
fantastic.
And I one, and I still would be willing to write another song.
Well, I would need someone to write the music, because I'm bad at writing music. I can't come up with music. I can only barely come up with lyrics. But, yeah, it's a miracle I've made any songs at all. So, and honestly, only one of them I think I like actually really like, which unfortunately is not the most recent one.
Look at the chat right now.
Listen. Get out. Don't say. I quit.
No! Don't get out.
I quit the life.
Hey, please.
Oh my, I had this funny moment yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but I got sassed by my own character. So, because like isn't that great? No, because you know I have the Peter filter on TikTok.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I have I might have mentioned on the podcast, I don't remember. I have a character named Peter. He's a little duck. He's a mental health duck boy. He lives to bring around his little satchel of goodies and give them to people who need care, because he's a good little boy. And so I made a Peter filter on TikTok, where he like sits on your shoulder, and then there's like a little card, and you tap to open the card, and it's like one of like a bunch of possibilities of sayings. So I was feeling kind of gross yesterday because I wanted to record a thing, but I didn't like feel right to do it, and I was like getting to my mood all funky. So I was like, I'm gonna record this. I've been wanting to do another Peter card for a while. So I went on the filter, and I was like, hey Pete, I need some help. I feel gross. Like, help me out. And I tapped the card, and the one that happens, the one that I open, is like, have you eaten today? Food is important. And I just looked at him and was like, Peter, shut the heck up! I don't need your sass. Of course I haven't eaten today. I was like, get out. It was like he knew.
Trying to bring some stuff.
He knew. And I was so mad. I was like, get out of here, Peter.
Peter would tell you nicely. Steve would bring food to me and then have it in my face and be like, eat this. And I'd be like, no. And he'd be like, eat this. And I'd be like, no. And he...
So, yeah, no, I expect Peter would do the same. I expect that I would just be, like, going about my day. And, like, Peter would, like, give me a little card asking if I eat, and I'd be like, no, but I'll get to it later. And then he'd waddle off. And then he'd come back with, like, a fully prepared meal. And I'd be like, Pete... You didn't have to, Pete. Well, I can't just not eat this with your little face right there. And I'm like, okay, fine, buddy. Okay, here, thank you for the bottle of water. I love you, buddy. And I'd eat it.
I love Peter.
He would really, like, accidentally guilt me into, like, eating.
Yo, I fucking love Peter. If you haven't gone and looked at Tech Girl's art, do that. What are you doing?
For sure.
It's
I've been
very
meaning
good.
to use the
It's
filter. Oh my god, okay, please. I love when people use the filter. It makes very few have, so like anytime someone does, I get really excited.
random topic of discussion to add because this is fun. I've been watching Bluey.
Bleh.
I know Tech and I have talked about this quite a bit, but I have been trying to catch up with Bluey recently.
Bluey's great.
And honestly, in season 3, I'm getting really pissed at Bandit. Bandit's pissing me off.
What is he doing that's getting you pissed?
I
I'm
love
intrigued.
Bandit, and I'm like, bruh, he's being kind of an asshole to the kids.
What'd he do?
Literally, oh man, I don't know. There's the one where he's racing Bluey.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's Bandit. Like, listen, he is of the mindset of, like, toughen up, kids. Like, he's like that kind of dad while also being a caring dad. Like, like, Bandit.
They turned that up in season 3. I'm over here
I don't know. Like, what? Give me another example.
God.
Give me an example of how that's not been Bandit the whole time. Because, like, the Claw episode, Daddy Robot. Like, even Daddy Robot is a good example. Like, listen.
What do you mean?
Well, that's less of an example. But the Claw.
I was gonna say, he's a robot.
But the Claw, though. No spoilers, please, for Bluey, says Kay. That's fair. We won't spoil any, like... I mean, there's not too much to spoil in general. It's pretty, like, episode by episode, but, like, yeah. We'll try not to spoil any, like, big...
I won't spoil the ends of episodes, but I might be talking about the topic of episodes. Is that okay? Because I don't know, it's been a lot stronger. Like, I can't... Not that, like, it hasn't happened before. Like, yes, the claw machine did happen. But I'm saying, like, it turned up.
What about the dump? There are a lot of those. Yeah, the dump. That was a dodgy Bandit move.
I don't remember that one.
The where they're driving over to the dump and he's gonna throw away a certain thing, which we're not gonna specify. No?
Well, there was the one with the all the stuffed animals. Is that what you're talking about?
That's the claw.
No, there's another one where...
Oh, Mr. Monkey Jumps.
I wouldn't call that anything.
I don't know. I think it's not... I don't think it's... I think he's been like that a little bit the whole time.
A little bit, but I feel like they really turned it up this time.
I don't know, maybe.
And every time it's almost every episode at this point, but I can't remember what they all are. I'd have to go back and look at it, but...
Fair enough.
Either way, my brain went, man, I like you.
Now,
Let's leave it.
Question while we're waiting for questions. In terms of Bluey, like, real quick, because I don't know how many, if anybody else here has seen Bluey, but, like, who do you think each of the sides are Bluey-wise? I mean,
oh my God,
Remus is clearly Muffin.
Yeah.
That much we know.
I think they're all... I was gonna say they're all so different that I don't...
I mean, Bingo's Patton.
Bluey's Roman.
Yeah.
Which is offensive that I'm Bluey.
Virgil's that one kid in Calypso who just isn't having it. You remember that one kid in that Calypso episode who was just like sitting around? He's like, ugh. Virgil's that kid.
Virgil wouldn't complain that loudly in a group setting.
I don't believe you. I don't know.
Unless it was like, unless it was genuinely something stupid, he would keep his mouth shut and then complain later.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I think, honestly, I would argue Bingo's Virgil.
How do you figure that one?
I mean, probably a combo, but Bingo has a lot of, like, Bingo gets put down a lot. Maybe Bingo's Patton.
I was saying, because Bingo's such a sweetheart. She's such a sweetheart. She's like, she tries her best.
Virgil is too, if you treat him nice.
Well, yeah, but, I don't know, Bingo's sort of more like, chaotic good. And, like, Virgil is too, but, like, he has a different vibe.
And it's Janice.
I almost said the same thing just now. I accept that.
And it's Janice.
Who are we missing? Logan? Logan is,
I guess Chili.
I'll take that.
Because I also love how she's an adventurer and she's got that like she'll like go clue hunting and like be real on the nose about that shit.
Yeah.
That's very Logan.
Kay is speaking my language. Which Blue's Clues host do you think would be each side's favorite? Kay, this is why we need you. This is why you're here. This is why you're here, because you know what I like. Oh my god. And Amy can see it on my face, like, this is, oh, he's been waiting for this one.
That's great. No, please.
Oh, interesting. Which Blue's Clues host do you think would be each side's favorite?
Oh, the hosts.
Yeah,
oh, I was looking
at. For a second, I thought it was which one would they be, but it seems to be which one would their favorite each be between Steve, Joe, and Josh. Ooh, that's actually
a really interesting question.
I think Roman would have a bias towards Josh because Josh has been on Broadway, and I think Josh does like a lot more of like the Broadway-ish singing. And also, Josh in the movie was specifically very Broadway-oriented, wanting to get on Broadway, so I think he would identify more with Josh.
I think Logan and Patton are going to fight for Steve.
I'd say so. Because, I mean, nostalgia.
Nostalgic value. And then for Logan, for like, you know, he was the original practicality.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Either that or Logan wouldn't really have a preference because he doesn't, like, care enough about, like, the change of it.
I would disagree with that.
Excuse my soul.
Logan likes Blue's Clues. Logan likes clue hunting. He would like Blue's Clues more than other things. He would have a preference.
I love that Logan likes Blue's Clues.
Yeah, you would.
I think... Yeah, okay, I see them both fighting for Steve. I think Virgil would like Steve because he doesn't want that. I think he like
Virgil.
I don't think he likes change enough to like vibe enough with any of the other hosts. I think he likes the other hosts fine, but I think he's gonna prefer Steve because that's where it started. He's the type of one who like as a kid like had a mental breakdown the moment that Steve was going to college.
I would almost argue in the same way that like I would almost argue Virgil's like me in the fact that like Steve is the favorite and Steve is always going to be like the heart and soul changed by it, but then watching Josh is going to be a different experience and like something that you're like, oh, actually I do kind of like Josh. Not that we don't like Joe, but I think Josh really like reaches the inner child in a different way than anyone else does. So I feel like Virgil might kind of try to deny it, but then be like,
that's fair. I mean, honestly, Josh also has the advantage of like this childhood show returning. So like you can have a lot of like sort of like pseudo nostalgic value like placed in Josh because he's the face of bringing back this show.
Josh is doing a fantastic job. If y'all haven't gone and watched Blue's Clues and You, please go watch it. It's so good.
I still remember, and like I say this so much, but like I remember the first time that they announced Josh as the host, like when the show's coming back, and I saw him and I knew I was like, this guy is perfect. I don't know what it is about him, but I see it. Something is happening.
I can't talk about it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, cool. You'll have to tell me later.
Sorry, all I'll say. This is not going to make sense to anyone watching, and I'm so sorry. But so there's something happening in my town. Okay, and we were talking about it yesterday. One of my friends just texted me, bring me Paprika's head. I'll explain it later. It's fine.
I'm so lost.
Oh my god. Sorry. Okay. That was really funny. Anyway.
Oh, I'm lost. We also have Janice and Remus are the last one that we need.
Oh god.
I don't know who Remus would.
I feel like Janice would say Joe out of spite.
Listen, I just want someone to say Joe because Joe deserves it. Donovan Patton is such a wonderful human. Like
So good.
he's so good, and like despite all the hate he gets, like for replacing Steve, Joe is great.
He did a fantastic job, but he had big shoes to
Oh,
fill.
he did.
And I really don't think there was anything he could possibly have done to fully fill those shoes.
No.
Because, like, unfortunately, the inner child in Amy really, like, loves Joe, but doesn't love the way Steve, the same way. Like, it's not the same.
And I just, I'm sorry.
Well, it's just weird because, like, I love Josh now, but, like, obviously Steve's still the favorite. It's still kind of that vibe, but Josh, I would still rank Josh over Joe, and I'm like, I hate that.
I know. I mean, I think the worst thing is that like with the host that we have now, in addition to if we get any in the future, because I don't know if Blue's Clues is continuing past its upcoming 5th season, or if it's gonna end, or if it's gonna like end and then maybe eventually come back again. Because I think Blue's Clues is honestly one of those things that can keep coming back like a lot of other franchises. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I think it can just keep coming back because it's just one of those shows. But Joe has the perfect disadvantage that he will never be... He will always be at the worst point in the history of as many hosts as there will ever be. Because he was the first replacement. He was exactly the first replacement, so he took over the giant nostalgia bomb Steve. But then Josh still has the advantage because by the point Josh comes around, everyone's a bit more used to the fact that there are different hosts. And then that will be the same if there were any other hosts in the future going forward. So Joe will always be at the most statistically worst place in the history of replacement hosts.
Well, I mean, that and arguably, this is a new audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like... Josh is reaching out to a whole new audience because he's reaching out to the younger kids. And then with us now, like who grew up with Steve, sorry, my brain hung on to the word Steve and I was like, hey, can you I think watching Josh now is a whole different experience because I'm older and I have different life experience and he's reaching to a different part of, like, he's still reaching to the inner child, but he's reaching to the inner child rather than the child. So like Joe, on the other hand, was still trying to reach to the child who was so used to Steve that just I mean, I watched a lot of Joe, but I never hooked onto it. Whereas Josh is reaching to the inner child, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's a different experience, and I'm having a better time.
Of course, yeah. See, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because so many people, like, hated Joe when he came in. And, like, I never really had that experience. Like, I was terrified to see Steve go. But the moment Joe was here, I was like, you know what? Yeah, alright. I was like, you know what? I'd rather have Joe here than no Blue's Clues at all. So I'll take it.
True.
And then I kept watching and I was like, yeah, Joe's a 5. I like him. Like, everyone else was like, no, I quit the show after Steve left. And I was like, why? There's still clues to find, idiots. Like, what are you
definitely
doing?
don't think, well, that's just your love for Blue's Clues.
No, it is. And by I don't mean to reduce anyone who actually like quit after that. Like that is we were all children. It's fine. But like
I don't know. I mean, I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
I think he did a fantastic job and he did all that he could, but it's unfortunate that he can't cross that barrier of mine. Like, Steve is I have such a heart for Steve that I can't, and it just makes me sad.
That's understandable. So, I mean, I feel the same way. Like, it's how I rank them too. It's Steve, Josh, then Joe. I was like going bottom to top, and I was like, well, that's the wrong message. Steve, Josh, Joe. And I feel bad. Because, like, I hate to be, like, one of the same people that, like, gives Joe that crap. But Donovan Patton was great.
Genuinely, he was in a really complicated position. I don't know if he could ever... I don't know if anybody could have really filled those shoes as well.
No, yeah. It's understandable, yeah. Man.
So, like... And I think he knows that. I think he's talked about knowing that.
Oh, really? Oh, that's... I could see him doing it, yeah.
He probably has some kind of mindset of that.
Yeah, well, whatever the case is, I love Donovan Patton, so...
We
There
love
we
Donovan
go.
Patton. He's such a sweetheart. He really
He's
is.
so. There's these
Um,
videos. I should show you these. They do. I might have shown you them. There's these two videos that they did around the time that the pandemic started up. I don't know if we're allowed to say it on YouTube anymore. I've seen back and forth, but like when the whole 2020 situation happened, they did a thing. Steve, Donovan, and Josh, where they put out two of these little like story time videos where they told the Three Little Pigs and the other one was Jack and the Beanstalk, and it was just them three on like a Zoom call, like doing the story and sort of like acting it out between the three of them, and they just kind of put their own silly twists in it. It's honestly hilarious. These guys are just funny. Like it's not them being
there's
in character as Steve, Joe, and Josh. It's Steve, Donovan, and Josh just like screwing around with stories, and it's honestly hilarious. I'll have to show you them. They're
That's
great.
great.
But anyways,
I love it.
oh no, I'll admit I didn't really give Joe a fair chance as a kid. Oh, of course. I mean, honestly, I don't really blame anyone for not giving him a chance. I mean, honestly, again, he was in a really weird position. Like,
It's a rough
honestly, it makes sense. Like, I can see why people had trouble with him. I just don't think he deserves like hate, is what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so either. But like on top of that, he was also, I mean, for me, well, I mean, genuinely, Steve was reaching to the kids, and then those kids got a little older, and then Joe was trying to replace them. Like the
Yeah.
thing is, that's also a factor. Like the kids were older, and they were so
Mhm.
used to Steve that like. I don't know. I can see a lot. There were so many factors against
Oh
him.
yeah, because honestly, by that point, kids are going to be aging out of the show anyways, so there's less of a gripe of sticking around for this random new guy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we said Janice would probably say Joe out of spite. But like, who would Janice's favorite be? Like, I don't know. I want to say Joe just for fun. Also,
Okay.
Joe, I think of the three, I like this is not really a thing, but I think Joe of the three is the least honest. There's just one episode I specifically remember where it's just like not least honest, but like he's the most willing to be a clod. Like because there's this one episode, it was Joe's Clues, where he's like, I have a surprise. Do you want to know? Do you really want to know? And he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell you. And it's just like, okay, Joe, what a clod.
Janice would have cackled.
He would have. Patton would be on the edge of his seat, like, why? And then he'd be so dejected, and Janice would laugh hard. And I think that would be the moment that Janice would be like, you know what? This Joe's all right.
That's an interesting perspective, Kay, that he's the underdog.
See, that's almost why I said that Virgil might. I thought Virgil might be also a pretty good fit for Joe, just because he would see Joe as like undervalued, and I think Virgil feels that way as well sometimes. So I think he would identify with that. If he liked Joe, he would like Joe because he wants Joe to have that like he wants to give someone he identifies with like that love. That
I
he,
mean,
like, yeah.
I see that too, but I don't know if that would garner him being his favorite.
I don't. Yeah, I see that too. That's the only reason I'm not like fighting for it hard, because like you make a lot of sense with the Steve thing, but like if
We'll say
that's why I think a little bit with Virgil with Joe, but I like Janice being the Joe fan. I don't know
We
what
could also
Remus could be.
I think Remus would eat the TV. I don't. We have plans tonight.
Remus's favorite is like I want to say something really stupid, but like Remus's favorite is like the Korean host of Blue's Clues, just because he failed on every account. Yeah, I want to just tell a little quick story, and then we can move on from the Blue's Clues subject. But there's obviously we have there's the different the different culture versions of Blue's Clues. There's the UK, there's some Spanish version, and then there's what I believe is a Korean version. I don't remember what his name was, but there's a specific episode where of Blue's Clues where the answer is like juggling, and so you have to juggle. And, you know, obviously Steve could juggle. So he got to this part of the episode, and the whole episode is building up to this whole juggling bit because it's like the game of Blue's Clues leading up to it. This guy couldn't juggle for shit. And it was so painful to watch, but it was so beautiful. You see him trying and he's just dropping it, and like they just didn't give a crap to do a second take, or maybe they did and that was the best they could get out of him. But like he tried a couple times and then he just gave up and the episode like went to its conclusion, and I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
That's rough, buddy.
I know, and that's the only reason I want to say Remus would think he's his favorite, just because he's just the least prepared, and he just doesn't give a crap. And also Remus just wants to be a contrarian.
That's fair.
I'm just gonna say Remus's favorite host is always the current one, because he appreciates the show constantly moving forward and not staying stagnant. But I like Tech's answer better. I mean, honestly, that's an interest. I mean, like, changing the host is like a form of like chaos that honestly stirs up the fandom enough. So I could see that logic of just like he likes the newest host. No, just he, like whoever the newest host is, he just likes it keep changing.
I would almost argue that he feels that way about Joe then, because like Josh
because he's like
is
the
a
most
whole
hated.
new show. Josh is technically a whole new show, and it's a whole new audience. It came much later, and people are coming on. People like Josh. It seems that people like Josh better.
Yes, there was also a time in the beginning where it was rough because there was a lot of racist stuff. Because people were like, oh, this guy's not white, and I was like, oh god, we're really going there? Jesus. Leave him alone. Leave this amazing Filipino man alone. And I love that too, because they like he's Filipino, and they've introduced the Filipino culture in so many episodes. Okay, I know we said we're gonna move on from the Blue School subject, and I swear to God we will. You really got me started. I'm so sorry. There is recently one of the most recent episodes of Blue's Clues straight up about racism. It was nuts.
It was really good.
Oh my god. Like, they legitimately, like, and not like an allegory either. Like, there was like a slight allegory with a character, but then like, Josh goes into like his own past a little bit in the show, and it's like, oh, we're really going into real race stuff. And it was like, that's amazing. Like, it's great that kids can learn this at a young age.
That's really important.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay. We're good. Blue's Clues is over. Subject.
Okay.
I just wanted to wrap it up because I know we're like running like into the last like 40-ish minutes of the live stream, and I didn't want to monopolize it with Blue's Clues too much, but
that's your passion. That's something you really love.
It's my hyperfixation. It really is.
Yeah.
It is my special interest. I love it so much. Phoenix asks, how is Steve?
Be honest, I haven't done enough thinking about Steve to be able to answer that question.
That's so valid.
I miss Steve a lot.
I love Steve.
I have. However, the play I'm working on does have an AI in it that is very akin to Steve. But yeah, I haven't thought about Steve or done anything with Steve really in a while, so I miss him as much as you do.
I love him so much.
But,
okay, says, I'm glad I got you started. I love hearing what's been going on with Blue's Clues since I dropped off. I mean, honestly.
I would highly recommend watching Blue's Clues and You. It's very good.
It's really good. Like, I would skip season 1, personally. Listen, I love Blue's Clues and You, and I will rep it till the day I die. But I would personally say skip season 1, not because it's necessarily bad, but because it is the weakest of all the seasons. Because that was when they were remaking old episodes, and they were reusing old scripts. It really didn't give Josh as an actor a real good way to shine, because he was really conforming to previously written dialogue that was written for the other characters and actors. That was very mildly changed. So I think that season it's worth watching, but I wouldn't start with it. I would skip to season 2, because that's when they start doing fully original episodes. And they've been doing fully original episodes ever since. And some of them are great. I mean, I say some of them, they're all great. they're all pretty great. The last one is not great. It was a clip show, and not a very well made clip show. But that's my personal opinion.
Cool.
I have a bias against clip shows. They have to be really good for them to warrant existing, and few clip shows have ever been that for me. But
Fair.
you know, I would also recommend Blue's Clues to you. It's wonderful, and Josh is amazing. So,
That's really good.
and the songs are amazing. Oh my god. Oh, I could talk about this all day. Anyways,
I'm just
Whew.
thinking, should I have a third cookie?
Patton would approve, but
You think?
I think he would. I mean, he always approves of a
Just running
second
down.
cookie. I don't know why not a third.
I know, I'm just running out of cookies.
Unless, well, Patton says a second cookie if he's feeling like dangerous. I feel like a third cookie would make you look like a bad boy. I think a fourth cookie would make you look like you were like a serial killer, and then a fifth cookie, you're basically Cookie Monster at that point. I like how my scale goes from. I like how it goes increasingly scary, but then like a fifth cookie and you're like, oh no, we're good now because you're Cookie Monster. That's fine. Man,
That's
really
that's
funny.
great.
Also explain to me.
So,
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna
Go
say, explain to me why, like, as the person who's not the Sesame Street person, why is it always me that ends up being the one who brings up Sesame Street? Anyways, I
don't
like
know.
really shoot myself in the foot every time. Speaking of Steve, question for Amy. I've been wanting to tell stories with my own OCs. I've introduced on my TikTok page, but I'm nervous and don't know how to get started. Any advice? Ooh. Fun question.
It's funny because we've talked about this.
Really? I don't remember much.
Yeah, you called me once at Halloween Horror Nights.
Did I give you advice?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I
I
gave you
asked you. Okay, I thought so. I was about to be like, I don't remember giving any advice. Because I know I've been
So
working on this
here's-
with my own character, Peter.
All right. Using that scale, I'm Cookie Monster.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That's funny. Okay, so how do I? Here's the thing. With my original work, it started with cosplay. It started with like taking the audios and like finding creative ways to make the sides say something very silly and relatable. That's where I started. I really had like my hands on using other people's media with my creativity. And then it started to get to the live streams. It started to get to me doing improv and doing stuff like that. And then I went on into eventually writing words. But like when I started writing words, I started using like the structure of Blue's Clues, and I started doing stuff like that. So in terms of your characters, or in terms of, I'm trying not to tell you what to do. I'm trying to tell you what I did, so that you can take that how you will. Because with Steve was birthed from my absolute obsession. Well, for one, with Sander Sides. It started with Sander Sides, and then I went, oh shit, I can make him a robot. That would actually work really well for me. Am I gonna do that? I actually am gonna do that. Why wouldn't I do it? So, the fuel for Steve comes from my obsession with wanting a good, accurate artificial intelligence, general artificial intelligence, meaning like one that can think and move around on its own and do things by itself. So that's where it started, and for a long time I was really stuck trying to figure out what his past was and trying to figure out like what all the intricate details were about Steve, because I didn't really know. I mean, I only think his glitchiness came from the live streams and his like inability to properly like listen to music or I think that all spawned from the live streams. So like those little details that I found interesting, and then he became glitchy, and I was like, okay. So I don't know if this is helping at all. I think I kept trying to figure out what story I wanted to tell. And I think with Steve, the story of his past that's going to come out someday came from my love of mental health. And I realized that I wanted him to be, once I had kind of the structure of a character, life was put into the character when I decided, oh, I want his damage to be purely emotional. You know, I don't want him to be physically damaged at all. I want his abuse to be fully emotional, which is why he's so glitchy. So with that, what is that story? What is the story that I want to tell? And then kind of just throwing ideas out. I think one of the best things you can do when you're writing is just putting words on a page without judging it, without thinking about it, without doing anything. Just going into whatever story you want to tell, putting it on a page, and then looking back at it and being like, okay, do I like this? How do I feel about this? And I mean, technically, I did that with Steve's story first, and I haven't made a script or anything for Steve's story. It's just a concept. But then for this new play, in the same way, I was like, okay, what story do I want to tell? How do we this on a page? And so I just kind of started writing. And then once I had something I didn't like, then I went back and did it again. Usually the first thing you put down is not the thing that you're going to end up with. It is definitely not the thing I end up with. So I don't know. I would just pay attention to what kind of story you want to tell. Why do you like the character that you've made? Like, if you have any heart for the character, like what is the thing about that character that you love? For example, for me, I love that Steve is damaged with emotional abuse and he's a robot. That's dope as shit. I love that. Put that in the story where, like, think about that. Like, follow your heart with it, basically, is what I would say. And then
I was gonna say, I know. Sorry, I was gonna say, I know that, like, from my experience as well, like, it really does help when you know what, like, the story is behind the character and, like, the direction you want to go with it. Because I know for me, like, I know I have two characters right now, Goobert and Peter, and I know Goobs, when I originally made him, he really didn't have, like, a reason behind him. He was just sort of like, you know, I was like, I want the sort of, like, quintessential nonverbal sidekick character that you have in media. You know, your Blue, your Pikachu, you know, like, the characters like that I was just very fascinated by. But because, like, you know, he didn't really have a specific purpose other than just, you know, character by my side, I had no idea what to do with him. And I still barely have an idea of what to do with him in general. And then compare that to, like, with Peter. I made Peter with a very specific purpose of, like, this is the reason that you exist. You're the mental health character. And this is, like, who you are from the beginning. And I knew that from the day I first drew him. And because of that, I've had an easier time finding a direction to go with Peter. Like, now I have, like, a couple of, like, little Peter comics, and I have ideas of what I want to do with him in the future, because I know what type of character he is, what his, like, purpose is, you know, what I want to do with him media-wise. So I think, like, it is really worth, like, figuring out what, like, specifically is the direction you want to go with that character is very paramount to, like, like, going forward.
Think about, like, is there some kind of scenario that you kind of been dreaming about? It's kind of daydreaming with that character. And don't judge it. Because if it's, like, for example, if it's a kissing scene or something, why? Like, what are you thinking? What do you think your brain is trying to tell you with that? Like, what is Roman trying to tell you? And jump on that. And if you don't like it, like, or you can change it and do other things with it over time. Like, it, I don't know. Honestly, I just have to keep, you know, dreaming up scenarios, and then being like, do I like that? Nah.
Man.
You can change one thing and you're like, ooh, maybe I do like this.
It's so neat. Having characters is just so cool. Like, I love having my own characters, and it's always funny seeing, like, I know you've had this with Steve. It's always funny seeing the progression of, like, where they started versus where they are now. Like, I know I have that a lot, like especially because like I do the art thing, so like I draw my characters a lot, so like I can really see this like evolution of like how I drew them, and the way I draw Peter is so like the way I drew Goobs from the start is so different from how I draw him now. The way I drew Peter, even like he's only like a year old, it's like going on 2 years old this year, and already like I draw him so differently. It's just so interesting. Oh my gosh.
Howdy.
Hi.
Yo, what's up?
I love that because I've already thought about the story I want to tell. My main concern is how it'll be perceived, and I think words. Hello. I think that is becoming a bit of a roadblock. That's valid.
I'm gonna argue, in my personal experience, that I think you need to get it out, no matter what people think. And if you're having, I've heard that playwrights need to be mindful of their audience or whatever. And as much as that's true, I really don't think you can do that until you've allowed yourself to be creative the way you want to be, without the audience in mind. I know for my story right now that I'm literally finishing. Sorry. But also, I think I'm having to write without thinking about what my audience is gonna perceive. I think obviously like you want to pay attention to making sure that it's understandable for the audience if you're going to write it like that. But at the same time, I think it's really important first to find your sea legs, find the actual. I almost dropped my own roller. Find the just giving yourself that freedom to create. Thomas was kind of talking about this too, how he like hadn't really given himself the freedom to write for Sandersides by himself because he had never really given himself that originality strike. So he was doing those little videos, and then he was like, "Oh, this is what works for me, and now I think I have the confidence to do this." It's kind of like a stepping stone to get that confidence. Mm-hmm. So I guess what I'm saying is, I would argue that the audience is gonna like it or not like it. I think you should do it for you. Yeah. As much as like there is a fear of audience intake. No. Do it for you. Write it for you. Because that, honestly, it's more attractive in writers to see someone doing something they love and talking about something they love and writing about something they love than it is to watch somebody trying to cater to the audience.
Oh, yeah. Because the thing is, your audience will find you. Like, that's the thing, because, like, when I started making, like, content relating around, like, Blue's Clues, I was like, listen, I don't know if anyone's gonna care, this is probably stupid, and no one's gonna give a crap. But I put out, like, a couple, like, drawings of Blue's Clues at the time that the reboot was starting up, and that's how I, like, ended up finding, like, an entire community of people, and I was like, whoa, I didn't realize all these people were even here. But it turns out they are, and that's because, I put out something that I didn't think people would like, but it was something I cared about and was passionate about. And then the people came to me. They found me. So that's what you really gotta do. And it's not, it's not always gonna be easy, of course, because, finding your audience can be difficult. But the people who are going to be passionate about, like, your subject are gonna find you, eventually. Like, but first, of course, you need to get the thing out there.
And think about how Thomas handles hate comments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just doesn't look at them because he knows it discourages what he's doing.
Yeah.
Those people if they don't like you, they may leave hate comments, but like, listen, let them do that. Do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Put up for. Yeah.
Humans are just gross, but they're gonna be. But yeah. Alright, well, I know we're winding into the end of the stream, so if y'all have any more questions, please throw them at us.
Or any conversation topic. Or anything we're seeing.
Anything. Like, we don't have to stop. I know we're stopping around 1. We don't have to stop exactly at 1, but, like, definitely want to go. We don't want to go too far past, if any at all. Empress is loving the podcast. Thank you. I can't believe we've gotten out 20 episodes of this podcast. Can you believe that? Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure our most recent episode was our 20th, which I'm really happy about because that means before this sort of like change in format, we hit a nice round number, not counting the Side-ology live stream. So, yeah. Isn't that neat? Okay, that just resonated with me. I guess I need to remind myself why I started cosplaying in the first place, and it was for me. I wanted another way to be creative and have fun, so thank you. Oh, yeah,
jump out of your comfort zone. I am forever indebted to the teacher who said, "Okay, you have 1 minute. Do anything you want."
Mm-hmm.
And I went, "Sorry." So I could perform anything I wanted in 1 minute. And looking back on that, I was very afraid of putting words on a page and writing, but doing work with improv and doing work with movement rather than words gave me the confidence to do words for myself. Like, it's all for you. Do it for you. Because the more you do it for you and the more you do it with the passion for you, the more people will see it. I mean, that's why y'all are here.
Yeah. There's nothing less motivating than making something because you have to, or because you feel like you have to. The real good content comes through when the energy is there. And the energy will be there when it's something you care about.
Yep.
Is there a Sandersides episode you wish you could watch for the first time again?
Can lying be good? Can lying be good? Can lying be good? Can lying be good? Oh my god.
Ooh. I'm trying to think.
Please.
I almost want to say just the most recent asides. Just because that episode really hit me in a good way. It hit me so hard in the first time in a while. Because that was the mix of oh my god, I love all these characters and they're all together and this is so fucking cute. And I was oh.
That was very good.
If not that one, then if we're going strictly Sandersides episodes, then SVS. Just because that's my favorite. So, yeah, but this most recent one is just so perfect.
SVS was such a good one.
Hold on, wait. I don't know if that's a reference to something else, but is that a... Wait, Phoenix said, could you pass the salt? Is that a reference to... Didn't we say that in the Wheel of Relationships episodes? Wasn't that the joke, or am I crazy? Because I think we had a thing like that in that episode.
I think you're right. I also know that that's... Oh, I'm connecting it to something else. I'm connecting it to the Big Bang Theory with Amy going, Please pass the butter!
That's one of my favorite scenes of the Big Bang Theory ever. It's just so perfect. Amy hearing about the Xbox, PlayStation. No way!
Wow! That's...
Wait, who's them?
Oh my god! Please pass the butter!
It's so good.
Accepting anxiety is a good answer to that.
Ooh, those are good. Those are good answers. I like that. Oh my god, moving forward. If I watched that for the first time now, because at the time that I had seen that for the first time, I didn't connect with it as much, but life has happened, and then now if I feel like I saw that episode for the first time, I think I would be I was a mess when I saw it the first time after some things happened. Nothing I'm gonna get into, but life stuff happened, and I saw that episode again, and I freaking cried. And if I saw that again for the first time though, after things, I oh my god, that ruined me. Oh my god, Phoenix said yes, it's a Side-ology reference. Oh my god, has that ever happened? Has someone ever referenced us at us? That's amazing.
I don't know.
Oh my god, Phoenix, you're my hero right now. That was the best thing in the world. Oh my god.
He's up.
That's so funny. Dude, I have a friend, Adam, who references one of my videos at me sometimes, and it's the funniest thing to me. It's just oh my god, I feel like a superstar. You're referencing my own material at me. That's hilarious.
That's great.
God. It's so funny. Whoo-wee. Dude. Every time I
Um,
say Huey, I think I'm like Hamilton from Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. And you know what? I'm happy to be Hamilton.
I needed both of those
He's
episodes,
good.
yeah.
Um.
Moving
Oh,
on, moving
honestly,
forward's the only one that's made me cry.
that's fair. I think same honestly, because I can't think of another episode that's done that to me. I'm sure there
For
might
Sam,
be one, but I don't know.
this I'm betting money the finale is gonna make me cry.
I
I'm
hope
betting money
so.
because it's so close to what I'm dealing with. It's directly like, because I've said this on the stream before. I know I have, but like, he showed a picture of the video that he was using as research, or one of the videos he was using as research. That video was shown to me in therapy,
Mm-hmm.
like that direct video, and I went,
Oh
oh.
damn.
I went, oh no. I'm
Same,
excited.
man. There's something really cathartic when like a good piece of media can make you cry, and I love it. Like it's like you don't want to cry necessarily, but like there's something so good about having a show like hit you that hard, because it's just like this nice feeling of like being in the moment and feeling really connected to the characters, because a show is like you love a show when it can make you cry like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that isn't always the case. There are movies that I don't like that made me cry because of the subject matter. But like you're connected to the world of a show when it can ruin you. I won't, without spoiling anything, the finale of Supernatural. Oh my god, I could not breathe. I could not breathe. It was the only like the first half of the episode and something crazy happened. And I swear, by the time like the first commercial hit, I was like struggling to breathe because I was like that broken up, and I couldn't compose myself.
The Good Place.
Oh my, The Good Place is so much worse too, because that like connects to all my fears of death, and it's like, oh my god, like, oh, that show's beautiful. I can't wait to ruin myself again soon when I rewatch it. Oh, for like the 50th time.
Oh, The Good Place makes me sob. Bluey makes me sob.
Oh, Bluey! Oh my god,
Recently
there's
watched-
certain episodes of Bluey I have to avoid because I know it's gonna ruin me.
It's also what's so funny though about Bluey is it's just the smallest things. Like even sometimes some of the episodes that I didn't even think would make me cry.
Oh yeah.
Like at the end of it, something happened and I just start sobbing.
Because sometimes
Like,
it's not even a sad thing, but it's just like such an emotionally hitting thing that
oh
you're like,
boy,
oh
they're so good. They're so good.
my god, it's such a comfort show, but like, man, it could ruin you when it wants to. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
But I mean, to go back to Amber's question about the Sanitize episode, I wish I could watch for the first time again.
Yeah.
I said can Lang be good, but I didn't necessarily say why.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, now that I think about it, it probably is clear why.
I think I pretty much immediately understood why, because you want
I
that
got
big
gypped.
reveal.
That and I got gypped because I was on a fucking bus. I couldn't scream about it. I was so mad about it. I was on a bus and I was like punching the fucking sides and going ah, but I couldn't like do anything because I was on a school bus.
Goodness gracious.
And it was late at night.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh.
It was terrible. I want to redo.
There's so many shows that, like, if I could, like, this is a weird minor topic change, but, like, so, like, I know there are certain, like, whenever, like, how do I even bring the subject up? So, like, immortality, right? People are always like, immortality is not, what are you doing? Immortality is not, like, a thing you want because you'd get bored eventually, right? I contest that the best way to enjoy immortality is if you had the ability to also, like, control to temporarily forget memories. Because then you could just keep being stimulated by the same pieces of media forever. Like, you could literally live your life just watching Doctor Who on repeat if you just kept forgetting about it. And, like, on command. Like, that is how you make immortality work. You have the ability to change your memories temporarily so that you can re-enjoy things continuously.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be. Imagine if you could just control yourself to forget a show so that you can re-experience it again for the first time. That'd be amazing.
Arguably, technically, with acting, you kind of do that. You have to force yourself to kind of forget the event. Like, obviously, you're not actually forgetting, but, like, your character is forgetting. So, like, technically, you can make that happen if you act.
Fair. I also know that, like, with just general forgetfulness and me watching a million shows, I've seen Death Note, like, 20 times already. and I still get surprised sometimes when things happen. And I'm still like, oh,
There's so much information in Death Note, though.
man. That still sounds terrifying. What, immortality but forgetting things when you want to? I mean, it does. But like, see, if anyone's to be immortal, there has to be two caveats. One, you need to be able to forget things on command, and two, you need the ability to die if you want. Those are the two. You can't be trapped in immortality because that's terrifying. But like, if it's like you're immortal until like, or you're immortal but you have an out, then that's fine because then at least you know it's a choice. Tech, when is your birthday? Yeah, are you like miming it? Yeah, October 10th is my birthday. I share the birthday with flirting with social anxiety. Man, the excitement I had when I found that asides show up on my birthday that year, I was like, oh my god, Thomas did it for me! Oh my god. It was a good moment. But yeah, 10/10 is my birthday.
What is your favorite episode of Bluey, Tegra?
Ooh.
Because I see Embers' sleepy time. Isn't that the one with the bingo streaming?
Oh. That episode makes me sob.
Isn't that the one Bingo's dreaming?
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
I don't know.
My favorite episode. I have a few. I am bad at choosing favorite episodes a lot of the time, especially with series with a bunch of episodes. And obviously I don't want to spoil anything because I know Kay hasn't seen yet. If I were to choose a couple favorites, my two of my favorites consistently are Calypso and Omelet. I love those both so dearly.
That's another example of Banda being weird.
No, that makes sense. He's just a hangry boy.
Come on.
He's a hangry boy.
I would be patient if the kid is helping.
Well, he doesn't know that. Or does he? I forget.
Yes, he does.
Listen.
He's being so impatient and annoying. I'm like, bro, your ass.
He's hangry.
I don't care.
He's waiting. Anyways, but I see your point.
However, I do okay, wait, never mind. I can't say that because that's a spoiler. Wait, no, I
he
can't say
makes
that.
It up though.
There's a moment in the episode where I understand why he's angry. I get it. There's a moment where I'm like, nope, that
I know exactly which moment you're thinking of too.
I know that moment, and I'm like, no, actually, why did you? Okay.
That one hurt to watch because I was like,
that one hurt. That's not. That wasn't cool.
But yeah, no, yeah. So Omelet and Calypso are pretty consistently my favorite. Like they're like my go-to favorites. That I'm like, that one is perfect. I have to go, but I hope you all have a good rest of the stream. Also, I guess if you want to talk Blue spoilers after I'm gone, you might be able to. Oh no, you're good, dude. I don't want to spoil it just in case for anyone else either. But oh my gosh, thanks for being here, Kay.
Yes! Appreciate your support on the live stream or the podcast in general.
Yes, you're wonderful. Oh my god, have a good rest of your day. Oh my goodness.
Goodbye.
Yeah, we're not going to be even here that much longer anyways. But yeah, if anyone has any more last minute questions, throw them at us. We're here for a little bit longer. This has been a good stream. I've been enjoying this.
Yeah, you said Calypso. What
Calypso
was the other
and
Omelet?
Those are my two go-to favorites. I'm trying to remember all of them. There's a lot I forget.
I want to know what everyone else's favorites are.
Yeah, honestly, like, what is any other episode? I'm sure there's more that I'm like. That is like, how dare I forget that one? But I can't remember a lot of them right now.
Me too.
There's just a lot of great episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The episode onesies. I've never seen onesies.
Can't wait to see that. I want to watch that one with you just because holy, oh my god. Oh wait, no, I think you know about that episode. I think you said you know of that. That's the Chili Sister.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think you mentioned that you know about that one though, or I don't know if you know.
I know about it though.
Do you know about the thing about that episode or no?
I know why she struggles.
Okay. Yeah. I think. Okay.
Probably.
But yeah. Oh my goodness.
My favorite episode right now are Bus and Daddy Robot.
Bus was funny. I liked Bus.
Bus makes me happy.
Oh! Oh, what's the other one that I like? Oh, I forgot what its name is. It's another installment of the Grannies episodes. I might have shown you this one early on before you officially started watching in order, but there's a Grannies episode with muffins. Muffin? Wait, muffin or muffins? I suddenly forget it. I think it's muffin.
Muffin.
Yeah, okay. For some reason I was like, why is it muffins? No, there's a Grannies episode with muffin, and that is one of my favorite episodes. It's so amazing.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Oh, I need to watch that one with you because that one is just such a perfect little episode.
Yeah, I might have seen it. I don't remember.
I think you might have, but it's great. I discovered Bluey at Disneyland in 2020, but I haven't really watched it though. Did see some clips. It's good. I would recommend it.
How did you find it at Disneyland? Also, bye, Amber. Thanks for being here for a bit.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, they might have merch at Disneyland or something like that.
I guess.
I mean, it is Disney property at this point, so.
It's so bizarre. Bluey's Disney.
It's more bizarre to me that Doctor Who's Disney now. That's strange to me. Like, I had to contend with Marvel being Disney. Now Doctor Who's Disney, and I'm like, I look at, like, I'm like on Disney Plus, and I'll see Doctor Who, and I'm like, that's weird. Why are you here, Doctor? David Tennant specifically. I'm like, I'm happy because I have access to Disney Plus right now, and I have had for a while, so I'm really happy it's there. But my goodness. Oh, it was playing at the on the TV of the hotel Phoenix was staying at. That's why. That explains. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh.
Man.
Did they have the like all access? You can watch anything you want, like Disney Plus, as well as like other movies at the Disney hotels. Because I know they have that on the cruise line. They have practically any Disney movie you can ever even possibly imagine.
Goodness gracious.
I watched the original Haunted Mansion with what's his name?
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
I remember I saw that, and like there was a thing that happens like really early in that film where they're like, I think they're detailing the backstory, and they like mention someone who like unalived themselves, to use the TikTok terminology, and I saw that and I was like, oh, we can. I think that was the first time where I processed that Disney can do. I was like, Disney can do that? This is Disney.
Well, that was an older. That was a very old movie, so that was probably allowed back then, and now it's like.
I was like, they're allowed to do that? What?
Not anymore.
Marvel's allowed to curse now, just whenever they want, apparently.
Well, I think they've only
dropped a straight up F-bomb in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
There's only that one.
There is only that one, and I know like Nick Fury will say whatever he wants. So like.
Matt Pat was talking about that.
Howie? Oh my god. Oh, Matt Pat.
Oh, yeah.
My boy, he's leaving. Poor Matt Pat. I mean, not poor Matt Pat. He's living his best life. But what?
We got Danebo coming back though.
Is he? Or is she rather? So sorry. Ooh.
They're going to be making.
They? Is it they or is she?
They them.
They them. Okay.
They're gonna be. It's okay. They're
I got so paranoid. I was like, oh god, this is on the stream. I've ruined my life.
No, they're gonna make. They were talking. I saw yesterday. They put out a thing that said, I'm gonna be making something akin to Danebo Exposed very soon.
Really?
Or they're hoping. And I was like, oh.
I should try to get a comment in that for old time's sake, because I really have fallen off of Annoying Orange, but I was in Danebo Exposed once upon a time.
I'm gonna be intrigued to see what they come up with.
That's crazy. Because I know the Annoying Orange never went anywhere, from what I've seen. I don't love what it's become, from what I've seen, but we love Danebo. They're amazing. Like, they've always been great.
If y'all don't know Danebo, go check them out. They're wonderful and lovely. I respect the fuck out of Danebo. I always have.
Yeah.
Tobuscus on the other hand.
Huh? What?
Tobuscus on the other hand is making me angry.
Oh, he's doing some things, and I don't know about any of them. He's really making he's making content that feels like it was made for old YouTube, and it just doesn't really fit in with new YouTube. And I don't even know if it would have fit in for old YouTube. I think it would have fit in for 2005 YouTube. I feel like it is not up to the standard of what YouTubing is today. Not that you have to make perfect art every time, but it after all he's done, it feels like a very weird departure.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me because normally when I have YouTubers that I absolutely adore, I will watch everything that they put out, no matter what. I know that a video that comes up on their feed somewhere, like Tomska. I absolutely love Tomska's content, and if there's a video that comes out, yes, sometimes it's okay, but most of the time it'll at least make me laugh once.
Oh yeah,
so
I'm like, all right. Great.
So I just love going back to Tomska, but and I mean, there's a ton of YouTubers like that, but and Toby was one of them for a while, but now it's just. I can't anticipate good when I see his shit now.
It's so sad because I also used to be such a Toby fan. I watched his vlogs and I watched his gaming and I saw his videos. The Hot Pocket video is always going to be in my head somewhere. But nowadays it's a whole different story. But it is what it is, unfortunately. And now Matt going away, and it's sad.
Well, he'll be around.
I'm glad he'll still. He's definitely going. He's going away from the Theorist channel more or less, but he's definitely still going to be making content in some form.
I love that he's still doing stuff, and he's giving himself a break. I think that chronic stress is going to be a very nice release for him.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Because I keep hearing about his schedule, and I'm just like,
oh god, I can't even imagine.
My god.
I'm making my own homage video right now for basically making an episode of Film Theory, and insanity. I can't even imagine doing this as often as he does it.
Well,
he also has a team, but jeez.
He's usually the one theorizing and then recording, not necessarily editing.
Yeah. Well, even that part is where I've gotten up to. I haven't even done the recording yet. I spent as long as I have making just the script, and I'm like, oh god, I can only imagine him doing this as often as he does.
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Yep.
All right, but I guess we're wrapping up. Oh my gosh. Well,
thanks for listening to Side-ology.
Yes, thank you guys. Like I said, we'll still be around, just not in any consistent nature from here in the foreseeable future because we have no idea where things are going. Did my camera get really blown out all of a sudden? My goodness. Oh well.
I don't know. You went. I
Side-ology is ascending to heaven. That's where we've gotten.
You found the sun. Yeah.
But yes, thank y'all for watching the podcast. Thank you for joining the live stream. We had a blast. But
this was fun. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yay.
Well, we will see you guys around. And of course, when we're not doing Side-ology, you can check us out on our various other accounts. We have them linked in the description of every Side-ology video. So you guys can check us out on our other places because we do make some other stuff.
Once I finish this story, I'm hoping to not stop making content because I have plans to make content from here. But I'm still going to be kind of quiet for a while, but then just keep an eye on my stuff.
Yeah.
Personally.
All right, guys.
Anyway.
We will see you guys later.
Y'all are the bomb!